Daniele Mari. I'm the Vice Director of the Physics School here at EPFL, and I would like to warmly welcome you at EPFL to start your Master in Physics or Applied Physics. During this hour, I will try to illustrate you the study plan in some details, and then you will be able to ask me first questions about the future of your master at EPFL. So, as you know, we have two study tracks in physics. One that leads to the title of physicist, and the other that leads to the title of engineer in physics. So physics and applied physics. So now I would like to show you a little bit how the study plan is divided between the 2 years of master that you have. So the first year is essentially a year where you take academic courses, ex cathedra courses, and let's say lab courses, which are called physics project. Here you see the number of credits. Of course, the total number of credits of a year is 60, and therefore here there is a division about of 19 credits for the first semester, 19 credits for the second semester. Of course, this is just an idea. You can take, of course, 23 in the first semester and then 15 in the second. This is also possible. We are going to go into the detail what the physics project is later on, and what this human science, sciences humaines sociales, means as well in your study plan. The second year, and here we are talking about physicists, there are 3 options for the third semester. These 3 options are the following. You can take 1 more semester of courses, that is 30 credits. This is for the student that really want to specialize in a certain fields and did not have the occasion due to the study plan to take enough courses in their domain. The second possibility is to take a minor that is worth also 30 credits. What's a minor? It's a semester of study in another field of study that is given at EPFL. There are specialized minors, like in data science, space technology, and so on. And of course, you can take a minor in microtechnics, mathematics, or whatever. And this is free, even if you take physics. There are some students that address their attention towards research. They would like to specialize and continue in research. For you, there is this possibility that is called Physics Research Training Semester. That means that already before your master thesis project, you enter into a lab. It can be a theoretical physics lab as well, where you will follow courses and you will first start a project, a new project in the field of specialization that you would like. It is called the semestre de spécialisation in French. And this is worth also 30 credits, which are given, I would say, from the professor according to the plan he has fixed with you. And then the final part of your study is the thesis, master thesis, or master project that is worth 30 credits as well. So what is the difference between physics and applied physics? Basically, there are 2 differences. First of all, in the first year, there is a constraint in the sense that at least half of the credits the academic credits that are taken must be taken in engineering courses or applied physics courses. So you have a certain study plan, and this study plan is divided in two domains. The applied physics is the domain where you can take courses. You can also take courses, we will see, in other faculties of EPFL. There is always the physics project, of course, and there is always the human science project as well. In the second year, there is the second difference, because what we want for someone who has the title of engineer, also for European agreement of title accreditation, you must spend 6 months, 5 months in a company. And that means that you have two possibilities. Either in the third semester, you take an internship. There is a wide offer of internship that are offered by companies in Switzerland and abroad. And you spend 6 months of internship in a company. Or if you would like still to take the courses, other courses in engineering, for example, or a minor, you have that possibility, but in that case, you have to spend your master project in a company. Then it becomes compulsory to obtain the title of engineer in physics. While if you have taken the internship in a company, you can, like the physicists, take your master project, for example, in a lab in physics here at EPFL or abroad. We'll see what are the rules for that. So if you go to the website, the beautiful website that was designed by Julien, you will find here a table where you have all the courses, for example, for the fall semester. And let's see here. So you see the website, and I have, if I choose, for example, the applied physics here, I have this table, and this is a sensitive table. That is, if you want to choose, for example, a course, you see reactor technology, then you click, and this is demonstration, huh? Okay, let's go into practical physics. Okay, here it works, and you see you have all the content of the course, so what we call the fiche de cours of the course. These tables are very, very nice, also because they direct you into the main domains of physics that are available for your master. So we have basically divided our branches into 5 domains. The first one, astrophysics, particle, high energy physics. The second one, which is a specialty of EPFL that you don't find in many universities in Europe, plasma physics, for example, biophysics or physics of a complex system, condensed matter physics, which sometimes overlap also with quantum science and technology. So if you come for a master here, you can have a very strong formation in these 5 domains. Of course, this doesn't mean that you cannot take a subject from astrophysics, and then you can take another subject from quantum science and technology. The only constraint are for engineer to take applied physics courses for at least 19 credits. And if you look here, the courses that are applied physics, you see, have this green border here. Okay, so here you have the courses that are available for the spring semester, and let's go a little bit into more details about the study plan. All the courses are optional. That means that you can blend the courses basically as you want from the master. There are not compulsory courses, even if in this table you have some big courses like quantum physics 3 or quantum field theory and so on, that are, let's say, 6 credit courses, big courses of base formation. So if you go to our to the website, I would like to see my I have problems seeing my arrow, so that I cannot click on the study plan. I don't know why. Okay. I go here, so I click on the study plan. Ah, here it is. Okay, so you see that on the website of EPFL, you can see the study plan, and in particular, the study plan here for master appears like a list of branches. You see here the code, the professor, and you see the partition of the credits during the semester. For example, I don't know, particle physics, 2 hours of course, 2 hour exercises, and you have the type of exam. And you can see that for all the courses that are available. And you see that if you have the master physics in engineering, you see that this division in option group 1 and option group 2. Group 1 means the engineering option. So this is one thing that you can have. So these are what are defined the option in physics. Then there is another list, which is the list of courses that are approved by the faculty of by the physics school, but out of the faculty of basic sciences. And therefore, if I look at this list that is shown here, you see that these courses are in other schools, Génie mécanique, mechanical engineering, or microtechnics, and so on. Why we have this list? Because, and here becomes a little bit complicated, our study plan, because basically there are some other rules for the famous 38 credits. You can take courses outside of the physics study plan, up to 18 credits. And these 18 credits can be taken among the list of approved courses of other sections that I've shown before, courses from the Faculty of Basic Science. Faculty of Basic Science means chemistry, mathematics, and physics. So you can take freely courses of master level in chemistry and mathematics, but of course, up to these 18 credits. And then you can also, if you are not satisfied with the choices, you can also look at the study plan of our sections, and you can take up to 6 credits on another option that is not in this list, and you would like to take. But these 6 credits have to be approved by the section of physics. So of these 18 credits outside the study plan of physics, there are the possibility of taking other courses according to this rule. So basically, the master cycle in physics means 38 credits obtained in option courses and 22 credits that are obtained in the lab courses, what is called the physics project, 16, 8 per semester, and the human science project that we are going to see later on. Then there is the internship in industry for the engineers or the research training semester for physicists or minor or third-year study semester. The choice for the physics project, the project that you are going to choose here, or the master project, must be announced to the school secretariat. Let's come back to the what are the research training semester. Research training semester, this is for physicists, must be done under the supervision of a professor or senior scientist of the physics school. So since it's really in the physics study plan, the main supervisor of this semester must be a professor, senior scientist of the physics school. This does not mean that you cannot go, for example, to follow this semester in a big institute of physics like PSI, like CEA in France, and so on. These are possibilities that are allowed for the research training semester. There is no grade, but only 30 credits granted or failed. For example, for theoretical physics, in this specialization semester, the professor of theoretical physics have set a plan which is very well defined of, I think, 18 credits of courses in theoretical physics that are requested if you follow this type of semester. About the third year study semester, this is aimed to students who would like to take additional special courses, and if it is for engineer, is the occasion to take other applied physics courses or courses of engineering according to a list. And for physicists to take sometimes doctoral school courses, so advanced physics courses, because there is a possibility to take at least 2 courses of doctoral school. Let's come back to what is of main interest now, because you have to decide very soon what is your semester project, the physics project. I'm going to detail the lab, but I'm here also to give you the rules. And the rules is that these 2 projects has to be performed under the supervision of the people of the physics school, so a professor or senior scientist. TP4 is not compulsory, but in principle also the physics project or travaux pratiques 4 should be performed in a lab of the physics school. These are rules I put here because let's say the rules are displayed mainly in French, but these are the rules that are in our academic curriculum. So now, if you come from outside, it's a little bit a stress in the beginning of the semester for you, because you have to choose a lab where to undergo this physics project. Here I'm going to show you very, very rapidly give you an overview of the research lab that are available here at EPFL. And I start from plasma physics because, of course, this with a nice tokamak machine that is available at EPFL is really one of the specialty. Not many schools have an experimental setup like this one. Of course, the Swiss Plasma Center participate in the development of ITER, so the next fusion reactor that is going to be built by 2026, probably, and operating in Cadarache. And this is the list. You will have this presentation available. These are the list of all professor or doctor that are part of the staff and are supervising project in the field of plasma physics. So this is really one of the domain that I can recommend to you. But of course, there are all the domains of physics are represented in EPFL, and in particular, particle physics with the proximity of CERN here. Here are different professors that are working in the field, and Professor Olivier Schneider is an experimentalist, while the other, Ratazzi, Schutzka, and Gorbenko are theoreticians. Seidel instead is a specialist of accelerators. In the last years, astrophysics has developed very much at EPFL. We have a very strong staff in the field with Professor Jean-Paul Naib, who is the director of the Astrophysics Institute, and new professors that are coming from abroad, Michaela Hirschman, Richard Anderson. These are newcomers now in astrophysics, and the other person that you see here. Condensed matter physics, this is a traditionally a strong domain at EPFL, solid state physics, with specialties in nanostructure, like the lab of Professor Brune, or Professor Cécile Hébert, who is the director of the physics school as well, and her specialty is electron microscopy. I include also the research in the field of novel materials or high pressure phases and magnetic material with Professor Ronoff, myself, and Dr. Arnaud Magret, who is responsible of synthesizing new materials. If we continue with condensed matter physics, but more in the field of quantum devices, I can mention Professor Carbone, Epley, who is at PSI, and Professor Banerjee. You will be able to find all this domain and more details about this lab if you look at the site of the IFES, Institute of Physics. So if you type ifes.epfl.ch, you will have all this detailed information. Of course, all these groups that are more experimentalist are accompanied by good theoreticians, and here you see what I would define the group of theory and simulation with Professor Mila, Pasquarello, Yaziev, and Professor Lochley, who arrived also this year. Biophysics is obviously a domain which is certainly raising in interest, and you see that you have a full list of many labs that are working in the field of the function and structure of biological structures, and I include here also complex materials, and in particular, I would mention Professor Mathieu Viard, who is a specialist of complex system, and Professor Krashkala and Zeborova, who are working in the field of machine learning and deep learning applied to physics. So I include them in this domain. You might have hesitated between a master in quantum science and technology that starts this year at EPFL and physics. What is the difference? I would say, even if I know probably you have chosen to come to physics, I would say that in the Master of Quantum Science and Technology that starts today, it is a master that is supported by the physics school, but also by the microengineering school and by the computer science school. The technology part is prominent. So if a student chooses a master in quantum science and technology, it will study more the technology and less the fundamental physics. If you want a strong basis to study even quantum application, but from the physical point of view, if you want a very strong quantum physics background, then ideally you have to come to physics. This is really and this is your choice, I suppose. And you see that in this domain, you see a full list of all these professors that are working in the domain of quantum computing, photonics, and quantum matter. So the choice is really, really large. And I think that you will certainly find among these professors a lab that fits your desires. A few words about the human science program. Today, competencies in society, human science, and so on are very, very important. Why? Because basically any engineering project is open to society worldwide. Many of these projects are involving, of course, with cutting-edge science, but acting as a responsible engineer, scientist, or manager, well, requires these kind of competencies. So what type of competencies? Well, first of all, understanding practices, norms, if you are an engineer, values, and also the history of social environments. So these are cultural competencies. If you are in a society, you have to know the rules and the habits of the people that are working with you. So these are practical competencies. You have to be open to continuous learning and in particular to be open to other ways of reasoning. If you do research, you're always in contact with different cultures, Asian cultures, United States, South America. And these are different ways of reasoning, it is, but they enrich, in fact, our culture and our way of approaching problems. And finally, you must be able to develop the ability to perceive the emotion of the other or express your emotion. So there are also emotional competencies that are important for you. And therefore, this is why we have this program of human science and society. It is divided into two semesters that are worth 3 credits. In the first semester, you take courses And in the second semester, you get, in a project, you will gain 3 other credits. And all this is ruled by the chair of human science. So this is the web address. And there you will find the list of all the projects that are possible for this SHS program. I'm going to finish my presentation in 2 minutes, 2 minutes, and then the director of the physics section will address you a word, and then we will have time for some questions because we have about an hour for our session. So I would like to underline 2 other subjects that are proposed generally to all the master students. These are not specific to physics. And first of all, the security in your IT environment. Of course, you should be sensible to this problem. We see more and more problem of hacking and computer security, and therefore these are some rules. I'm not going to read them. These are, to me, evident rules, but you will find the rule of EPFL through this address, go.epfl.ch/IT-secure. Second point that I would underline is respect. EPFL promotes a culture of respect. Of course, harassment, violence, discrimination are not tolerated in any case at EPFL. Therefore, provide and seek support to these politics. And of course, if you are, I hope not, but a victim, of course, you have a network and you have addresses to which you can address in order to discuss confidentially of this problem. Of course, also the physics school is open to take your complaints if there are some. And therefore, I finish my presentation, and it's up to you to start. And some addresses for all information: the beautiful website of the physics school. Thanks, Julien, again. The site of the master at EPFL, and some contact addresses. Myself, Daniele Mari, epfl.ch, and the address of the secretary of the physics school that in particular addresses all the students' problem and know everything, Valérie Scherer, Businger, epfl.ch. Okay, so
it's Leah normally.
It's Leah, okay.
I forgot it's Leah.
It's Leah, and then you. Okay.
Bonjour.
Vous avez.
Hello, guys. Hello again.
Hello again.
Yeah, we have a few slides for you.
Voilà.
All right. Okay, so you already know us because we were with you on the morning, but we're going to properly introduce ourselves and our association.
Juste pour le zoom, en fait.
Ah, yes. Sorry. All right, so most of you already know us because we were with you this morning.
but we are going to properly introduce our association. So we are Les Irrotationnels. That's a weird name, I know. And we are the Physics Students Association. And basically, we're here for you, to accompany you for all kinds of things during the semester, whether it be academical events or fun events. So we organize a lot of things. We organize some apéro, that is the best part, of course. We organize via our sub-commissions the third year physicists trip. That's physics travel. Well, unfortunately, it does not concern you, but that's a thing we do. And also the weekend ski. That's a weekend, like 2 days. Yeah, of course, that's a weekend. It's usually during the months of March and April, where the physicists all go together to ski and also drink a lot. That's the unofficial part, but it's cool as well. Unfortunately, we do not have the president of the whiskey here, but you can join the whiskey this year if you want to. We also design the section sweatshirts that we will have all the informations coming shortly, I think. Everything is ready. And even if you're master students, so you'll all be here next semester. But even if you're not, for some reason, we can ship, and that's good. And yes, basically, we're here for you. Some of the cool events we have organized are some conferences with some Nobel Prizes. Approximately each year, EPFL invites some very famous physicists at EPFL, and we can organize some Q&A session just for physicists, us, and these Nobel Prize. So this year in May, we had James Peebles, who got the Nobel Prize in 2019 for the prediction of the cosmic microwave background. So it was a big honor to have him with us this year. And yes, we had also Hiroshi Amano and Klaus von Klitzing from previous years. Some of the cool stuff we organize, we like to organize the improv concerts, that's jam sessions. We usually do it in the physics building. It's a very cool event. I don't know if some of you are musicians, but there's a lot of musicians in the physics section, and it's really good. So some past designs of the physics sweatshirts. So you can see there was the black hole here and the Feynman diagram thing here. And this year we're organizing another design. We had a contest of design, and we're going to vote in a few days, I think. We're going to vote on the new designs, and then we will order them. So feel free to order one. Yeah, we did a Discord server during the COVID years. It's not that much used anymore, but feel free to join it. It's the Section de Physique EPFL. It's mostly in French, but you can, of course, ask a question in English or any language. There will be surely someone that can answer you. And it's a good place to ask some questions about the courses and the lectures and everything. If you want to help us, sometimes we need help during our events. So we have a Telegram group. I don't know if I send it in the email I sent you. Yeah, all right. We offer beer for your help. And yeah, that's all. Not taking too much of your time, but you already know us. But if you have some more questions and anything, you can contact us. Our email is here. Or you can just find us in the PH building. And yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So we'll see you after this presentation. So we go back to where we were before, and we continue.
And we continue the apéro.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So do I understand that right? That basically what we are currently doing is interrupting your apéro. So you had started the apéro and you want to continue the apéro. No, okay. I hope you will still forgive us. Okay, does it work? Yes. And then I'm not followed anymore. He's only following you. This little guy. I'm here. Hi, I'm here. I'm here. Come. No, he's fixed on you, right? Anyway, so my name is Cécile Hébert. I need Daniele behind me. I'm a professor in physics and in material science. And since the beginning of August, I'm the head of the physics section. So that's why I'm here. In terms of teaching, I'm teaching mainly in the bachelor level with only one course at the master level. So the odds that we meet in a lecture are not exactly high, but anyway. I want to welcome you to EPFL. I'm super happy to have you because I think this option and this path that we have at EPFL of having students coming from abroad at the master level and I would say mixing up in the general batch of the local students is a fantastic way to have exchange and cultural enrichment and really to learn to meet other culture. So it's true for you because I mean you will be coming into a new culture, but it's true also for the physics students who will from EPFL who did the bachelor at EPFL and will learn to meet you. So I'm very happy to have you. I would like to welcome you. Also to say, I know it's not always easy. If you have questions, if you have problems, don't hesitate also to seek for help. I mean, I wasn't at the presentation. I was welcoming also the bachelor students, so it was a bit difficult, but I think Daniele Mari, who is one of the most important person in the physics section, give you a lot of information on where you can seek for help. You will also learn to meet Valérie Scherer. She is probably as important as Daniele. And she's the secretary of the section, and she also knows everything about rules and many rules that I myself don't even know and discover all the time. Okay. So I don't know if you have questions. I don't know if you plan to have a Q&A question.
Yes, now there is room for a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes of Q&A.
So if you have questions, maybe we can start with that. When is the apéro starting again? Yes.
Some question about the master's program. The last semester, the master project. Can you explain a bit more and come back perhaps to the slides because it seems a bit vague and generic because like there's the internship in physics for the third semester and then just master's project without any specification about what it is.
Oh, the master project is sometimes it's called master thesis, is really a research work. So it is done in one of the physics lab. Sometimes you can ask under supervision of a professor of EPFL to go abroad in some prestigious university like Harvard, MIT, and so on. And it is really your research, your final research project. And for that, you have to choose a lab. And in order to choose the lab, there is effectively this possibility to go under the physics project. You will learn a little bit what is done in the lab here, and you say, okay, I would like to make my master project in electron microscopy, and go to the lab of Cecile.
Should this have perhaps be connected with the internship that we would do?
No, not necessarily. And even so, if we talk about applied physics, the internship doesn't preclude you to do also the master project in a company. But this master project must not be the follow-up of the internship. It must be a different subject and more research oriented. But it is possible as well.
Basically, the master project is a final piece of work that you will do in the supervision of EPFL professor or scientist, and where you will have the time to work on a dedicated subject for a solid period of time. And it's kind of the first, I mean, it's a first feeling of what it is really to have a research project, complete research project. So it's I would say, I mean, it's can be a first glimpse of what a PhD could be. So it's really, and the difference, it's very short. So you have a defined period of time and you have a subject, and that's where, I mean, it's a matter of finding a lab. So some direction of physics. Physics is very wide. I mean, there are many labs. You have labs in theory, you have labs in experimental physics, you have the plasma physics, you have astrophysics, you have solid state physics, theoretical solid state physics, experimental solid state physics, quantum physics, and so on. So you probably already have an idea of what are biophysics. Nearly forgot. You will probably have an idea of which field are of most interest for you and which are less interesting. And then you can start to look into the labs that go into that direction. And but you have some time to find this. I mean, it's there are many. I mean, I don't know if it's absolutely every university, but it's in many universities that the end of the study is finished by a standalone project that is a final project. Where are you from, if I may ask? Sorry?
Geneva.
Geneva, okay. So I don't know how it is in Geneva.
Yeah, I think
Probably.
practically in all master there is a final work or a master project at the end.
Yes.
When is the deadline of the semester project, and where should we apply information about it? Where we should upload information or send it to someone? When's the deadline?
So the deadline for registration, choosing the project, or
Which time I have to choose the semester project?
okay.
Well, it's short. As the answer is as soon as possible. But of course, we know, yes, because I mean, let's say, then by calendar here in TPFL, the day which is dedicated to the semester project is Monday, but we start with the Monday of vacation. So basically, all the project we start the second week. So this is more or less formally the deadline, but of course, as soon as possible. And I know that people that are here already, that already have a bachelor at TPFL, they know that they have to choose, that they do research during the summer to find their lab. So the answer is as soon as possible. As I've shown to you, I've given a list. You will have this presentation available of the labs that and the people that could supervise the physics project. There is one thing that I didn't mention during my presentation, is that if you go on the site of the physics school and you go to the physics project item or physics project thumbnail, you will find there some video clips that were recorded by different lab leaders. And this will give you a better idea of what is done. These are small video clips of 5 minutes, and there are many of them. So this is a possibility to see what is done. Otherwise, the address is for research in our labs is ifis.epfl.ch. And there we will see this partition about the different branches that I discussed.
And when I choose one, I should upload information or send an email to you that I choose this thing or nothing.
But first of all, if you choose, you are in contact with the professor that accepts you in the lab. So the first step is to be accepted in a lab and have a lab available for a project. And then you have just to inform the secretary that you are doing your physics project in that lab. That's it.
And then we need to register on IS Academia, I guess.
Yes, you need to register on IS Academia. But the information that you give on IS Academia is very, very short.
I mean, but as Daniele said, the most important is you get an idea of where you're interested to go to, and you contact the professors of the lab that are hosting this kind of projects. And that's when then you will, once you have the contact and once you accept it, I mean, it's fine.
We start our physics project from the second semester so that I will graduate in 2.5 years.
In principle, yes, it is possible. If you think that anyway you will add in your study plan 1 semester more, which is quite often done. I would say the strict minimum is 2 years, but there are many students that take 2.5, maybe 3 years for their master. It's possible. Then it is possible in this frame of time to start with the physics project 2 and then make physics project 1. Yeah, it's possible.
Or how about, are we allowed to taking courses during the research semester?
During the you mean the physics research training? Yes, you are allowed, but pay attention, because if you aim theoretical physics, there is already a course program which is relatively 18 credits. It's already, and if it's 18 credits, very heavy.
It's heavy credits.
So be careful if you take that program. If you would like to take some courses in that semester, and I would say it's the same rule as for the internship. So you cannot really take more than take that physics training section semester if you have more than 12 credits to be finished. So you cannot really overload that semester.
There was one behind.
I have a question regarding social human sciences projects,
Mhm.
and I had looked about 2 or 3 weeks ago on them, and they, especially the English speaking courses, were already booked except 2. And I wanted to ask if this is normal or if this may be okay, because I suppose that all the students which already did their bachelor here were faster than some of us probably will that. Okay, so but maybe I thought that might be because it's still from the year before and
so let me understand well. You say that all the courses that are given in English, that are taught in English, are fully booked. already 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So of course, I registered for all of these courses. Then 2 weeks ago, so yeah.
I don't know if it's still the case, but as far as I know, there was a risk that some students would register for 2 courses and then choose later on.
Okay, so you mean.
So maybe it's look at what's going on.
Okay.
I mean, I think this has been reduced because I know in the SHS, and I know a few years back there was a huge problem that some courses, I mean, some students would register for 10 courses,
Yeah.
and if you have like half of EPFL students registering for,
Yeah.
I mean, it produced a big mess. And then they deregister at the beginning of the semester, and then it's just.
Mhm.
It's so in this ISA interface, it explicitly states that one must only register for one SHS course.
The fact that it states you only must is probably means that you can register for more than one. And
Yeah, it's definitely like you could register for one, but then you are only admitted. You're only admitted one
yes,
in the end, but I still don't know. But probably it's impossible, as you say, to register.
so and especially
later on.
the final registration is due by the end of the 2nd week. So expect some movement starting the beginning of next week.
Perfect.
Yes, because I think you raise a good problem, but as far as I know, I'm not aware that there was students in the past that were claiming that they couldn't find any human science course for the semester. So I think that there is still enough space for you, and I hope so, because otherwise it is really a problem.
It's just like the choice was a bit narrowed down.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think the same kind of problem applies for the physics project, because the communication for students about physics projects is very late, basically today. Whereas some lab close the registration in June or something like that. So for some students that know the system, it's good, but I think it's favorized bachelor from EPFL for this case. For example, in theoretical lab, we can't candidate. It's all.
Well, I think that you raise a good point. I mean, it is true that theoretical labs are much liked by students, and the number of places is relatively limited, and they restrain the applications, and therefore. Well, it's the principle is first arrived, first served, but of course this is a little bit a problem, in particular for students as you are. On the other hand, well, there are there is a limited offer, and in some way.
Yes, but I think just a word in the acceptation later would do the job. Just say, look at the labs and send email, and just people will do it.
Yeah, it's a good point. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
There was a rather vague sentence like that in the admission letter thing, which said it's like advised to search for these projects before the semester starts. So I think in principle it was there, but it was like
okay.
Yeah, small, like in the small written. But
At the bottom of the letter,
Yeah.
should be,
It should
be larger and in bold.
yeah. So,
How can we choose a course out of the study plan? I mean, practically, because I didn't see it on IS Academia. For example, if we want to choose a course in mathematics.
Oh, as I'm saying, in the study plan, we come back to this slide here. Basically, if you comply with these rules, you just enroll in IS Academia, and that's it. Basically, afterwards, it's our secretary that says, oh, there is a problem, too many credits or so on. But if you remain in the courses that are courses of the faculty, that is master courses of chemistry and mathematics, they are all open. The list of approved courses and that's it. That's it. These are the courses that are allowed. This is you just enroll in IS Academia, and that's it. Of course, for courses that are not in this list, that is other faculty courses, you write to the secretariat or to me for the course to be approved.
do you have maybe any words to say concerning the minor? Just like as a general way of doing, like advices, other things we can't do.
Well, the minors are, there are, I would say, two main domains of the minor. There are minors that can be taken in all other sections. So you, as I was saying, you can take a minor in mathematics, you can take a minor in chemistry, life sciences, and so on. For this, the procedure is very simple. You address to the vice director of the section you would like to take a minor in, and then voilà, il est là. And then basically also the concept of a minor is that when you do a minor, you are part of the section that is hosting you. So all the academic procedures are done with the section that is directing the minor. And then there are some minors that are transversal, and they are, I would say, what we call specialized minor, specialty minors. And then you have data science, you have management of technology. This is a very popular one. Space technology. This is also another specialized minor. So for that, you get in contact with the.
Bon, c'est Paolo qui fait les expériences.
Hein?
C'est Paolo qui fait les expériences du coup.
Mais moi, c'était 15, non?
Non, 40. Voilà.
40? 15h15.
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 OK.
J'ai 15h15.
Oui, oui. À 15h15, ils ont mélangé.
OK.
Bon.
OK. There is a.
Well, the problem is that we do have the first year bachelor students in the other auditorium. So basically, we are all supposed to clone ourselves and be on the same.
And I have, but
A very complicated time schedule.
but in principle,
Not followed, so
it is not followed.
that's some kind of time compression. Anyway,
Yeah. Okay. So are there other questions?
To register for the minor now and to mix the courses from physics and from the minor at each semester.
You would like to start your.
You have to register for the minor now and to have like physics courses and courses from the minor at each semester.
This is an important point. Yes, when you do a minor, of course, the minor is normally in the schedule is in the spring semester. But in reality, it is better to distribute the courses of the minor over maybe even 3 semesters. And therefore, I encourage you, if you want to take a minor, to take a minor from now and start to follow courses from now.
Especially, I mean, there are courses which, I mean, the courses are very rarely given both in the fall and spring semester. So if you want to build up your minor with a catalog of courses, some are in the fall and some are in the spring, and you really have to arrange this then.
Hmm?
And one decide to take a minor or not. So what is the latest deadline? So to say everyone has to choose what happens during the first semester.
I would say, again, if you want to take courses from now, as soon as possible. You might miss 1 week. This is not too bad, but from now. But of course, you can decide that this semester is already full with the courses that you have taken, and you can apply for the minor next semester. It's perfectly possible.
Thing is, if you want to play Swiss, which was killed by the program, I mean, we exactly reached the 15:05.
And we follow the list.
And we follow the list. And then you have you can join the aperitif in the PH 333. It will be your first test as newcomers with your friend. You manage to find the room.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so
Thank you.
thank you. Welcome.